How's everybody doing? Good?
Good.
All right. Fire away.
The touchdown that you guys scored, obviously, in that game was a pivotal moment. For you, as a coach, what were the moments within that play that you highlight for the guys to show them how it happened?
Well, we're going into the game. We know that and we're still continuing to talk about that. That's an area that we got to improve in the coverage area, in the punt coverage specifically, not, kickoff coverage. I think that the guys have been playing well. But we were doing a nice job during the game, and to be able to get that, to kind of get some momentum. Now, this week we're facing the number one punt returner in the National Football League. So, you feel like you took a step, but I think you'll see if you really took a step this week because of who you're playing. I mean, this guy's he's dynamic, he's fast, he's explosive, he's tough. He pretty much checks off all the adjectives you want to talk about in a returner. So, but no, I was excited for our guys, and I thought it was close, and I'm glad it went our way.
What was your judgment on what allowed them to get the ball out, obviously with a couple guys converging there at the same time?
We'd preaching turnovers in all areas and in protecting the ball when we're when we have the football. And, that's something that coach has been preaching for weeks. And it was nice to see, you preach something all week, and Iggy came in there and punched the ball out. And he's a little bit of a spinner on contact, and that gives you sometimes opportunities. And fortunately, we got it out, and DHC scooped and scored, so that was kind of got it going.
What was the thrust of your conversation with Matt on the sideline with regard to Cairo's range at the end of that game on the 65-yarder, as opposed to going for a Hail Mary?
Well, obviously I'm not going to get into the discussions that Coach and I, because we're always talking and always talking about those things. But at the end of the day, I think you realize that both those are low percentage plays, as Coach mentioned. And as we visited, Coach makes a decision, and we go.
He's not. I don't think he's known as having like the big 65-foot leg or whatever. But when he kicked one against the Bears, Andy Reid said, "Well, I've seen him do it in practice, 65, 60, whatever." Have you seen that? I mean, were you confident that even if it was out of his range, it was still a makeable?
Yeah, I have a lot. Number one, I have a lot of faith in Cairo. Number two, I would say this without getting, and hopefully, I don't want you to roll your eyes when I say this. Just strategically with lines, have I seen Cairo make long kicks? I have. But with regards to telling you exactly where the line and all that, so I would never get into that. Just for example, when I talk to Sean during the week, we say, hey, this is where the line that we think for the opponent is. And then when we go through pregame, you adjust it, hey, going this way, you might be here, and those type of things. So, yes, he does well kicking long field goals, but, I would never exactly tell the world,
That line elastic on a game-ending kick as opposed to the same try with like 6 minutes to go in the game where field positions is a factor?
Did you just ask me? I'm sorry. Did you just ask me if I would attempt a 65-yard field goal with 6 minutes to go in the game?
I'm saying is the range, the line, is that elastic for you based on?
Yes. No. I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, the line is the line, but at the end of the game, it does get stretched because you're in that moment. Yes. I'm sorry. I understand your question now.
Just talk to Cairo yet. What were your conversations with him like? Just understanding that his streak ended on what was essentially an impossible kick.
You start a new streak, or you guys, we can call it. I said we'll call it the Santos streak. You know what I mean? We'll start over and we'll go. I mean that's. I think that for all the criticism that we've talked about the kickers, I think that Cairo's done a nice job. I know some people still celebrate like hitting an upright and those type of things. That was a long time ago. Cairo is a good player, got a lot of confidence in him, and now we got to start over. Guys, we're playing the Baltimore Ravens. They're the number 2 special teams unit in the National Football League. And I understand the questions about the Pittsburgh game, and I get it. That was 10 days ago, and I'm a little off of it because the Ravens are 3 days coming up. And when you're talking about blocking Calais Campbell on field goal block, who's 6'8", 290 pounds, I mean, there's a lot of factors that we got to work on. So I'll answer the questions, but if you want to stay with Baltimore, that would be great.
Can I just give you one more, and then we go to Baltimore?
Absolutely.
One more Pittsburgh one, so
Okay.
I promise.
Did he show you anything, though, in, I guess, the way that the selflessness of saying, hey, like, I'm going out there, I'm going to try the kick?
That's why I love him. I think he's a really good player. I think he's a really good person, and he's a really good teammate. And, what he's gone throughout his career with regards to coming back from injuries, getting an opportunity last year and taking advantage of his opportunity and continuing with that, I mean, that speaks to who he is. And so that's why I say we'll start a new one, or however anybody wants to look at it. For us, to be honest with you, streaks, I think those are good conversation pieces for everyone out there. I think that I can promise you this, and I would never talk about our conversations on the sidelines, but as a coach, you never say, I don't know, Coach, because we have a streak going. We're always going to do whatever we can to try to win the game.
On the final kickoff before that last possession, Jakeem typically has a green light. Time is a factor there. Can you just discuss your philosophy in that situation?
I think there was 29 seconds left, and there was no timeouts left in the game, and that's a good kickoff coverage unit, and we kept trying to test it all night, and we finally got one out, and then we lost the football, which we can't have. But with no timeouts left, you just felt like time is more important than probably what the distance is going to be. So I told him, we put his heels on the goal line on that one, and we were just going to play it from there.
So how do you block Calais Campbell?
You hang on, guys. He's a really good football player, obviously defensively, and then, I've watched him. I've played him multiple times, even when he was in Arizona and Jackson, a lot of places. He's as good a field goal blocker. I've always said that there's two really good field goal blockers in the National Football League with regards to inside players, Calais Campbell, and then obviously Marcus Hunt, who we have here. So when they're that tall and can move like they do, they create problems.
The punt return, or the punt coverage team is always obviously motivated, but you mentioned going against the number one guy in the league. Duvernay, what kind of motivations does that provide to your guys? Does it provide like a little extra juice? And do you mention that a lot during the week, that this is the number one guy in the league?
No, we talk about it. I mean, it's easy to talk about because when you turn on the tape, they're a really good unit. I mean, Coach Harbaugh has always had really good special teams. They're well coached, and they play an extremely physical brand of football. And we talk about it, but we got to do our job. We're trying to get better in that area, and we have what is it, 8 games to go to get better at that. So we're just going to keep chopping wood, and this is a big challenge. If you want to get better, you want to play against the best, and this guy's he's the best right now.
With John's background as a special teams coach, being there for as long as he has as the head coach, how much have the Ravens, I guess, over the years been a unit? You used to see them a lot when you were in Cleveland. A unit that you look for ideas or just respect, study all the time.
Absolutely, I study them quite a bit in the off season. I mean, their team. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge being in Cleveland for 7 years and playing them twice a year. They just do a good. The brand of football that they play on special teams is they're aggressive, they're physical. And obviously they've done a good job. So it's a big challenge for us this week. Thanks, everybody.